Hello everybody, time for an update I think. Been away for a week to Cornwall, which was absolutely fabulous weather. Got back on Sunday last week and spent quite a bit of time down here at the plot this week. Firstly, new addition, a raised bed, which lovely hubby put together for me. And in there I've planted sowed some seeds. I've got kale, which there's no signs of it yet, a couple of days, so I don't expect it to sort of grow that quickly. However, the radishes are up already, which has absolutely gobsmacked me. 2 days and I've got nearly a full line of them. Mixed salad leaves next to that, carrots up at the end which aren't coming up. Can't remember what I planted next to the carrots, and the heavy rainstorms managed to wash the names off, the little plaques. I suppose I'll have to wait until they come up. What else have we done? We've pulled up all the onions in the hopes of saving most of them, because we've got white rot, so that hasn't been such a good thing for this year. The beans, the runner beans, are absolutely fabulous. None that can be eaten on this one closest to me, but on the next one, and I'll just move along here a little bit to show you. I've got my first beans, so I'm going to be picking those. Oops, nearly fell over. That would have been good on video, wouldn't it? And as you can see, there's one or two really nice size, so they're coming off tonight and I'm going to have them for my tea. Next to them I planted 2 butternut squash, which are in the middle there, and they've just romped away with the heat. I've got flowers, umpteen flower heads, so I'm expecting to at least get some off there if the weather continues. And on either side there is pattypan squash, and again they've taken off as well. So as you can see, that one's taken off across the plastic there, which I don't mind at all. Looking pretty good. Poor lavender isn't looking very well at all. I think that's probably had just a little bit too dry conditions. The red cabbage is starting to heart up lovely. I did have to net it because I've had butterflies and quite a few caterpillars found on some of them, so before they managed to have a really good meal and eat it all, my mother-in-law and I netted them over yesterday. But as you can see, they're hearting up lovely. Let me just see if I can get a little bit closer. And as you can see, I think there's going to be some nice red cabbage there. Broad beans, starting to pick those, and been really bad with black fly. I nipped out the tops and that's done absolutely no good at all, so I think some of these might have to be pulled out. But as you can see down here, there's some nice sized beans there, so I'm going to have those as well. Parsnips are just doing fabulous. God knows how many legs they'll have, as I've said in a previous video, but they're looking really good. I'll show you around the other side. The flat leaf parsley looking really nice, and the potatoes are doing fabulous. Now I did dig a plant up, one of the Charlottes, and I will try and get a little bit of footage of that to put onto YouTube. I got quite a nice haul off just one plant which came out of here, so I reckon we'll be having some nice potatoes over the next few weeks. The leeks are coming along fab. They're really starting to thicken up now, as you can see, so I reckon I'm going to have some really nice leeks as well, which I'm really pleased about. A couple of plants that aren't doing very well are over here, and that is my courgette and the cucumber. I don't know whether it's just too well drained in this patch here. Originally it was there was a plum tree here and it was dug out before I was offered the plot. We filled the hole up, but my mother-in-law decided that it would probably be a good way of getting rid of some old crockery, you know, pots and the bits were put in the bottom, and I think it's just draining it too much. There is a flower on there, but it's looking a little bit poorly and I don't really think, unless it hits something really good, I don't think I'm going to get any courgettes off that this year. I have sprinkled some chicken manure around and fed it with some seaweed extract, so hopefully it might pick up. And again, the same with, although there's baby cucumbers on here and lots of little flowers, it's looking a bit anemic. It's looking quite sort of yellow, so again, lots of chicken pellets, and I've watered it with seaweed extract and hopefully it'll pick up. Moving on, you'll probably notice that there's not an awful lot of rhubarb. Stripped that yesterday and I'm in the process of making some rhubarb and ginger jam. I've had a major marathon jam session over the last couple of days. Made red currant jelly, red gooseberry jam and green gooseberry jam, which has come out really nice. So now the rhubarb's all chopped up, it's covered with its sugar, and tomorrow I'll make the rhubarb and ginger jam. I don't think we'll get any more off that, if I'm honest. This here, I honestly think is a thornless blackberry. Oops, sorry, sun's shining into the, as you can see, we've got quite a lot of berries. There's no thorns on that, but I think it is some sort of blackberry of some sort. So looking forward to those. Stripped down all the gooseberries, as I said, for the jam. I made 3.5 pounds of 3.5 pounds of red currant jelly and 5.5 pounds each of red and green jam, and the mother-in-law took away a great big bag full yesterday, so again probably another, I don't know, another 5.5 pounds worth in weight. Strawberries, well, I think the slugs and the birds got what were ripening up just before I went on holiday. This is all going to come out, and I'll dig this all up and get rid of all the couch and everything. I'll possibly move the fruit beds as well down to the far end and down the edge to provide a windbreak. Raspberries, they're starting to turn red now, but as you can see it's such a huge clump. I think the only ones we managed to catch will be the ones that are around the outside. The major piece of work that we did was to get my guttering up, and the two brackets which are holding up the pipe, it's got to be the most simplest thing to use. You literally just slide your pipe into the bottom curve and then hook it up and like a little vice over the edge of the shed, and it's so simple. Hello. A friend brought me a couple of really big blue barrels, so hopefully I'll have my own water supply shortly. Certainly we had a rainstorm the night after, the same night that the guttering was put up, and 1.5 inches we got in that barrel, so I'm really pleased with that. And an old wheelbarrow, which is going to be the saviour of my life. Yep, it's not pretty, but it does the job. My friend also brought me a load of wood, and that is going to make it an excellent raised bed. So I'm planning on having a second raised bed over here somewhere, and possibly have that for herbs or flowers. The plan is to have a path that runs from this shed all the way up past the raised bed, and then in a straight line up to the far end, and then I'll have a long bed to the left where the manure heap is at the moment. There's still some digging and stuff to do, so I've got my work cut out for between now and autumn. It's just been too hot to dig though, so it's just a case of trying to trim stuff down and keep it to some sort of, well, keep control of it really. Onions and garlic, I dug the garlic up and I dug the onion up. I don't know whether you can see that, I've got quite a nice haul. Because of the onion white rot, quite a few of those onions are going to have to be used. I don't think they'll save. And the garlic, well, I don't know how much of that's going to be usable, but it's certainly dried out. And as you can see, and I also did take some home. So we've had quite a good haul of onions, which I'm pleased about, you know, first year. I'm not going to win any prizes in the show for them, but they're edible, and that's the main thing, isn't it? That's why we do it. So yeah, it's looking pretty good at the moment. I'm quite pleased. We're starting to get a few things coming out of the plot, and I did promise allotted Aaron that I would show him why plot envy is really not a good thing to have, because the plot across the path here, and I'll just walk up to the end, sorry about the sun guys, this plot here all the way up to, I'll just show you that shed, which runs parallel with the entrance to the don't know if you can see that on there. Oh, there it is. The entrance runs in behind that, and this plot is looked after by an 80-odd year old gentleman and his wife, and it's just fabulous. I mean, it's weed free all the time. He's got gladiolus here, which are just going to start to come into flower. His edging's all tidy, he's got no weeds, everything's in lovely lines. I mean, that there is just gorgeous, and when that opens up fully, it's going to be so pretty. I believe these are asters. I know he did have some of them dug up by him all, and he had to replant, but he's got 2 lines there. He's got his radishes in, I notice. They're not as far on as mine, but then maybe I'll have eaten mine by the time he's come in. And then he has a line of leeks which he's put in. These here are blinding, but a great big line of peas, and it looks like they're all dried out with lack of water and the sun. But behind them he's got beetroots, which he's obviously had half a line of, and then he's got 2 lines of broad beans, and they're huge. And I don't know whether I can show you these, but what a haul. I mean, I don't know what he uses. Mother-in-law's convinced that he uses chemicals, but it's just immaculate. You know, rows of lovely pristine onions, 2 rows of fabulous carrots coming up, another row of beetroot, 4 lots of your runner beans, 3 lines of potatoes, another line of, they look like mange 2 peas, some more broad beans, 4 lines which he's put in obviously later, some lovely white onions. I mean, these are just fabulous, you know, so clean. Some more potatoes, 2 lines. He's netted all his brassicas. I mean, he's got all kinds in here. There's Brussels sprouts, there's cabbages, and you look at that, I mean, it's just, oh, I'd die for cabbages like them, and hopefully my red ones will be. But curly kale, purple sprout and broccoli, and then after that he's got his courgettes and possibly butternut squash of some sort a little bit further up there, and then he's got some more brassicas which are netted off, and his nasturtiums, and then just loads of sort of little mini dahlias, marigolds. He's got a beautiful rose bush that he's got his tomatoes in at the end there. Something that I haven't done yet. This looks like a bed of spinach and some more nasturtiums, and then this beautiful bed of flowers. You know, I mean, it's for 80 odd years old, I mean, crikey, it's just fabulous. And there's not a spot wasted on this plot. He's just, sorry, I'll try not to blind you with this one. He's just got so much in there. There's sunflowers, courgette plant there, this little strawberry bed, some more gladiolis. It's just gorgeous. But he's been doing this for over 40 years. And when he told me that, I thought, you know, in 40 years' time, maybe I'll have a plot that's this good. But at the moment, I haven't even had it for a year. So it's just about really sort of getting your priorities straight. Why are we doing this? I'm doing it for fun and to have some food out of it, which I know where it's grown, I know what's gone into it, and there's no chemicals involved. And I think that's what it's about, you know, it's sort of maintaining the bit that I've got dug, keeping it weed free at the moment, making sure that it's filled with stuff to grow, and then doing little bits by little bits, and at some point I'll get it all done, you know. Again, this plot here is a friend of my mother-in-law's. She's had this for 20 years. There's herself and a daughter do it, and as you can see, lots of lovely, you know, sort of a flower area, a fruit bush area. She's got a beautiful rose that just stopped flowering now, which is all white flowers, marigolds, potatoes. She's got tomatoes in, she's got broad beans in, she's got her courgettes in, you know, and it's just all so lovely to look at. It's just weed free. But, you know, that's 2 out of 50 odd plots. This plot here and the one that's next door to me were all one. The guy had it for 6 years. It was pristine. It was split into 2 the day that you give it up, and 2 people had it. Had a plot each next day. You know, it's mine had been fallow for well over, well, one person said a year, somebody else said 2. So yeah, I've got my work cut out, but eventually it's going to be really nice. And I think, you know, Erin, you're doing a grand job. You've got a couple of really good beds there. Just keep them weed free, you know. Do your weeding first, and then you can do the 3rd bed. Yes, it's going to take a while, but bit by bit, if you do it really thoroughly, you know, you're going to have your 3rd bed and it'll all come together. But you need to enjoy it really, you know, and if you get something out of it this year, well, it's a bonus, yeah. I mean, I'm just really lucky that this bit here was, you know, you can see here where the onions have come out. I mean, couch grass. There's bindweed, small field bindweed, I think it is. It gets a tiny little flower on it. Horsetail, I mean, tons of the stuff. Look at it, it's coming up amongst the potatoes. But, you know, I'm going to dig this over. Not sure what I'm going to put in there. I certainly can't put onion family in, but I'll have something else in there. I'll keep it as weed free as I can, and then it will be dug over in the autumn, and the rest of it will follow, you know. So anyway, I've waffled on long enough, and people are starting to turn up to water, so being very conscious that I'm talking to a camera, I shall say bye for now. See you all again soon.